from New Hanover County Schools Television, powered by students. This is your school news.
Welcome to your school news for the week of January 12th through the 18th, 2015. I'm Maggie Caudill.
And I'm Victoria Chang. Topping our newscast this week, Board of Education holds the first regular meeting of the new year. New series on the U.S. Constitution to be featured on the Learning Network, and Wrightsboro Elementary holds a cultural arts showcase.
Topping our newscast this week are the board notes. The Board of Education held their first meeting of the new year on January 6th. The meeting included recognitions of achievements, new administrative appointments, and more. With the details on this meeting is YSN reporter Dylan Grace.
The first Board of Education meeting for the new year featured a variety of topics that included administrative appointments, special reports, and some new policies on second reading. Let's get to the board notes. In honor of School Board Appreciation Month, the district presented each board member with a coffee mug decorated with Castle Hayne Elementary School student artwork. Following the presentation, the Castle Hayne students were presented with certificates of appreciation for their contribution to the board members' gifts. Also recognized at the meeting was Rebecca Clark, physical education teacher at Virgo Preparatory Academy, who has been recognized as the 2014 North Carolina Middle School Physical Education Teacher of the Year. Under administrative updates, Donna Sloan was approved as the new district supervisor of AIG. Ms. Sloan previously served as the AIG teacher at Holly Shelter Middle School. Also, Kimberly Morrissey was approved as new assistant principal at Ashley High School. Ms. Morrissey was a special education teacher at Ashley High School. As part of the board role in managing Head Start, board member Edward Higgins gave a report on the program, which is expecting 1,400 applicants by March. Also under Head Start, the program's written plans for 2014 through 2015 and a non-competing continuation grant for 2015 through 2016 was approved. The information portion of the meeting included a presentation on the sold-out school drug and alcohol education program. The finance department had an excellent review from the state auditor report, and the board considered resolution letters written by Cabarrus County Schools regarding NCSBA letter grades. Policies for second reading included Policy 6233, awarding of career status, Policy 7410, grading system, Policy 8212, student attendance, Policy 8550, school-sponsored fundraising activities, new policy administration of emergency epinephrine and student assignment plan procedure. Finally, under new business, 2 drafts of local control of school calendar resolutions were presented to the board. They chose Draft B. The 2015 through 2016 curriculum course guide was approved. The local options for alternative schools item was approved. Snipes Academy of Art and Design was approved for the year-round calendar beginning the 2016-2017 school year. The Reliant Health Contract Amendment Number 1 was approved. The ADECO contract was approved, and the board approved use of NC Education Lottery funds for project application for renovations needed at the Sidebury Road site for use as a swing site for College Park and Elementary School during building replacement. The next regular Board of Education meeting will be Tuesday, February 10th at 5:30 p.m. at the Board of Education Center, 1805 South 13th Street. As always, if you cannot attend the meeting in person, you can watch the rebroadcast Tuesday nights at 6 p.m., Friday mornings at 8 a.m., and Sundays at 1 p.m. Board meetings can also be watched online at www.nhcs.net. That's your board notes for January. Back to you.
New Hanover County Schools has been selected for a site visit by the Friday Institute's Digital Learning Plan team. The Friday Institute for Educational Innovation at North Carolina State University has received a state contract to work with the Department of Public Instruction, the State Board of Education, policymakers, educators, business leaders, and other stakeholders to develop the North Carolina Digital Learning Plan. The Digital Learning Plan team will meet with Mary Hazel Small, Chief Financial Officer Don Brinson, Chief Technology Officer Dr. Kim O'Brien, Supervisor of Staff Development, and Dr. Julie Duclos Greenwood, Director of Instructional Services, to gather input regarding digital learning in our school system. Parents, students, and community members are also invited to share their input at a meeting scheduled for January 29th at 5:30 p.m. at the Board of Education Center, 1805 South 13th Street. For more information on this meeting, you can contact Holly Evans at 910-254-4314.
In other news, New Hanover County Schools TV and the Stamp Defiance chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution are proud to present the history of the U.S. Constitution. This exciting and thought-provoking documentary begins with the first English colonists to arrive in North America. The documentary examines the colonists' achievements in developing forms of representative government that led to the writing of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. During the course of this 8-part documentary, viewers discover just how these documents have protected American people from the abuses of power and tyranny, and how the principles set forth by the U.S. Constitution have empowered Americans to excel and aspire to greatness for over 2 centuries. This educational series is made possible by the generous financial support of the Stamp Defiance chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. This chapter is dedicated to historical preservation, promotion of education, and the encouragement of patriotic endeavor. The 8-part history of the U.S. Constitution airs on Mondays at 8 o'clock p.m., Wednesdays at 10 o'clock a.m., and Fridays at 6:30 p.m.
It was an exciting evening for Wrightsboro Elementary students and parents as the school closed out 2014 with the Cultural Arts Showcase in the school library and cafeteria. The visual and performing arts are an integral part of a comprehensive curriculum and are essential for learning in the 21st century at Wrightsboro. The library was alive with drawings of all types and styles showcasing the various levels of art skills the students were learning.
So we've been working a lot with design elements from 2nd grade all the way to 5th grade. 1st grade has been learning some Native American pictographs this last month and learning about texture. So they have been working on some buffalo drawings with oil pastels and paint and crushing and distressing paper to create some texture, and learning some of the cultural history of the Native American Indians and symbols, and learning that that was the language that the Indians used.
In addition to the artwork, the choral students gave their annual winter concert, and in conjunction, the student held its annual book fair. It was an evening packed with art, entertainment, and a chance to order a few early holiday presents for the new year.
Finally, the North Carolina State Board of Education has formed a task force on global education to assess the state's effort to produce globally competitive graduates and ready to live, work, and contribute in an interconnected world. Based on feedback it received, the task force has noted 6 major findings and made 5 commitments to take supporting action to ensure every public school student graduates fully prepared for the world. Those 5 commitments are robust and cutting-edge teacher support and tools, leading-edge language instruction, new school models, district networking and recognition, and strategic international relationships. In a world where the global interconnectedness of people, markets, politics, and jobs increases daily, the task force suggests these commitments and supporting actions to make the following reality: that North Carolina's graduates will be the most globally aware and prepared in the nation. Now, when your school news continues, we have an exciting lunch menu forecast.
Plus, coming up in 60 seconds, we'll have reports on New Hanover County Schools holds annual legislative meeting, high school football players read to pre-K students, and 9 teachers become newly national certified teachers.
This is your school news on cable and online. Look for our blue logo for all of the latest news online at www.nhcs.net. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back to your school news. The New Hanover County Board of Education and New Hanover County Schools Superintendent Dr. Tim Markley hosted the 2015 Legislative Luncheon for state and local legislators. School system administrators, teachers, and senior leadership were also in attendance. The luncheon served as a forum to discuss legislative items of concern prior to the start of the 2015 legislative session. We get a full report from YSN reporter Bobby Blue.
For the fourth year, New Hanover County Schools held its annual legislative luncheon. The event provides the superintendent and members of the school system a chance to speak one-on-one about their concerns with many of our state and local representatives. Topics addressed at this year's meeting including restoring funding for drivers' education, teachers' assistance and instructional resources, salary increases for veteran teachers, and granting local districts flexibility with the academic calendar.
In terms of budget, 55% of our funds come from the state legislature. North Carolina is a very unique system where it's much more state-driven than in other systems. 29% comes from New Hanover County. And folks, that 29% is what makes a lot of the things, the extra things that we do possible. Then we get about 10% in federal. In terms of where it goes, 71% goes directly to instruction. That's teachers, materials, and what happens in the classroom every day.
On hand at this year's event were Representatives Ted Davis, Rick Catlin, and Senator Michael Lee. County Commissioners Jonathan Barfield, Beth Dawson, and Rob Zappel, as well as other law enforcement and community leaders. New Hanover County Schools Teacher of the Year Meredith Kukowski shared ways she felt legislators could support educators. In a passionate speech that earned a standing ovation, Kukowski spoke about the frustrations teachers and students feel regarding testing.
We have been inundated, as I'm sure you all have been too, in the last few years with state tests. Every year, despite the frustration and the worry that we are missing the point, we work so hard to help our students meet the requirements set forth by people who don't know their stories, don't know their battles, don't know their tribulations.
New Hanover County Principal of the Year Robin Hamilton also spoke to the gathering and shared her own thoughts on steps Raleigh could take to improve public education.
One common characteristic shared between public school employees and elected officials is transformational power. Both groups, public school employees and elected officials, have the power to transform our already stellar public schools into the best public schools in the nation.
Board of Education Chairman Don Hayes closed the meeting by telling the gathering that this event has provided some of those positive feedback and partnership between the school system and its locally elected officials. Reporting for Your School News, this is Bobby Blue.
The Head Start Policy Council will meet the third Thursday of each month beginning at 6:00 p.m. in the Dale K. Spencer Building, 1802 South 15th Street. The dates and times are listed there on the screen. The council is comprised of parents and community members, with Edward Higgins serving as the board liaison. The head functions of the Head Start Policy Council are to serve as a link to the school system's various parent organizations, assist the Head Start Parent Committee in communicating with parents, work with parent committees in planning, coordinating, and organizing program activities, and to assisting in recruiting volunteer services to address identified needs. For more information on the Head Start Program and Policy Council, contact Shannon Smiles, Director of Early Childhood Education at 910-254-4168.
With the end of the high school football season, many of the Hoggard Viking players took time to share with their many supporters. The young students at the North Carolina Pre-K Center were thrilled with their special visitors. The players talked with them about sports and read numerous books to the students. Many of the players were paired with the students with whom they read aloud and shared an engaging discussion about the book or books they read together. All the players helped to strengthen the reading skills and imaginations of the young students.
Students at Isaac Bear Early College High School in Mr. Walls and Mr. Abraham's classes worked on a Unity quilt in celebration of the season. A Unity quilt helps create understanding, appreciation, and respect differences and similarities in their classroom and school community. Through the quilt, students stitched together symbols that would help their school feel part of a greater classroom community, complete with similarities and differences among participants. When finished, the Isaac Bear Unity quilt will tell a story of how it can be used to reflect the people who put it together. It will help future students who walk through the Isaac Bear halls to recognize that people of different countries and cultures use quilts to pass down their histories and traditions and create one unified classroom community.
Finally, last week we reported on the state's ranking with national certified teachers.
Of the new state's newest 527 board-certified teachers, 8 of them are from New Hanover County.
They are Camilla Kirby from Myrtle Grove Middle School, Anne Marie Edwards from Ogden Elementary School, Jennifer Edwards from Mary C. Williams Elementary School, Catherine Fox from Winter Park Elementary School.
Shannon McCone and Christina Ramsey from Sunset Park Elementary School, Courtney Motes from the Special Education Department, and Jennifer Rosser from the Pine Valley Elementary School.
In addition, 17 educators renewed their certifications. Presently, the district has over 400 national board-certified teachers and continues to be among the leaders in the state with a high number of national board-certified teachers.
Now don't go away. Coming up, the county principal of the new year has been awarded another honor. We'll have details.
Plus, we have this week's edition of the Lunch Bill of Fare.
Your school news will continue after the break.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Welcome back to Your School News. New Hanover County Schools Transportation Department operates one of the safest school bus fleets in the state.
School buses are carefully designed on a different transportation and protection model than the average passenger car.
The children are protected like eggs in an egg carton, surrounded with padding and structural integrity. We get this report on bus safety from Cassie Williamson.
Today's school buses are built with safety in mind. They are tougher, cleaner, and more diligently maintained than ever before. School bus drivers are required to receive special training and must be certified by the Division of Motor Vehicles. For school systems throughout the country, keeping children safe is the priority of school transportation. When parents put their children on the bus, they're trusting that their children will return to them safe and sound. And every school day, the yellow school bus repays that trust over and over again. Simply put, the yellow school bus is the safest way to get to school.
And it's constructed almost like a tank. It's, I think our buses weigh anywhere from 25,000 pounds to 35,000 pounds. So you think about it, you're riding in a 25 to 35,000 pound vehicle versus a car that weighs 3,000 or 4,000 pounds. So right there in itself, just the physical weight of the vehicle makes it safer than riding in a car. And then you got to also look at the fact that you're sitting up off the ground, much higher. In fact, the few accidents we do have where a vehicle runs into us, usually all the damage is to the other vehicle. We have very little damage to most of our buses and accidents just because of the weight and the size.
The consistency and routine that school buses provide cannot be measured. Students are picked up on time, arrived at school on time, and return home safely at a specific time each school day. For most communities, the routine of the school bus goes unnoticed, and it is that lack of attention that creates the most danger for the yellow bus. School buses are large and make frequent stops and can be frustrating to follow or share the road with.
If there's any doubt in a person's mind, should I stop for a school bus or not? Stop. The safety of the student should always be first in this instance, okay? But if you just look at the laws themselves, if it's 2 lanes of traffic going in different directions and the stop sign comes out, vehicles in both directions should always stop. If you have 3 lanes of traffic, 2 lanes in opposite directions and a center turning lane, the stop sign comes out, everybody should stop in all directions. If you have 4 lanes of traffic, 2 lanes in different directions, and the stop sign comes out, everybody should stop. Now, if you have 5 lanes of traffic with 2 lanes in opposite directions and then a center turning lane, then only the traffic that's following the bus has to stop. And lastly, if you have lanes of traffic where you have a medium or you have a barrier between those lanes, then only the traffic that follows the bus has to stop.
Mile for mile, the children are 7 times safer sitting on a school bus than riding in the family car. While there are school bus accidents, last year in New Hanover County there were 22 accidents with minor injuries. But these numbers are small when measured against the fact that school buses in New Hanover County log 2,654,000 miles each year. But despite this great record, we always ask, can school buses themselves be safer?
There's been a lot of controversy about should you put seat belts in a bus or not put seat belts in a bus, and it kind of goes back to over the previous years. The reason they have not is basically two reasons. One is, how do you make a seat belt that for buses where in some cases you have 2 kids in a seat, sometimes you have 3 kids in a seat. So how do you make a seat belt work that will handle both 2 kids or 3 students? Okay. The other issue is that how do you make sure the students wear the seat belts? I mean, obviously, when a driver is driving a bus, he can't be sure all the students are wearing seat belts or not wearing seat belts. And that's the reason the bus was done the way it was in the beginning. It was built compartmentalized between the seats so that, if you are in a sudden stop, that you do hit the padded area which is close up in front of you or to the side of you and not thrown very far.
New Hanover County Schools Transportation Department takes seriously the trust parents place in them to ensure a safe trip each school day on the yellow bus. Remember that the greatest risk students face is not when riding the bus, but approaching or leaving the bus. Take the time to teach your children about the danger zone around the bus. As a driver, be alert when approaching or following school buses. Obey the laws. You'll not only increase the safety of student passengers, you'll avoid the new fines put into place in North Carolina. Reporting for Your School News, this is Cassie Williamson.
It's time now for this week's lunch bill of fare. Across the county, school lunchrooms have gotten a facelift and a menu makeover.
Lunch menu analyst Creed Rassin joins us this week with the school lunch menu so parents, students, teachers, and everyone working with the New Hanover County school system can plan their lunchtime options.
Here in the newsroom, I've had the chance to review this week's lunch menu. Let's prep for another school week while we see what's on the menu. On Tuesday, January 13th, we start the week off with 3 great entree choices: a grilled Parmesan sandwich, a grilled cheese, or French bread pizza. On the side, we have vegetable soup, a garden salad, and fresh fruit. On Wednesday, January 14th, you can choose from a grilled chicken sandwich, cheesy breadsticks, or orange chicken with rice. On the side, enjoy glazed sweet potatoes, a garden salad, and diced pears. On Thursday, January 15th, struggle to choose between nachos grande, fish sticks, or popcorn chicken. Enjoy delicious side dishes which include cornbread muffin, black bean and corn salad, sweet potato waffle fries, garden salad, and fresh fruit. On Friday, January 16th, we have 3 entree choices: a slice of pizza, a cheeseburger, or a deluxe chicken sandwich. On the side, indulge yourself with macaroni salad, French fries, a garden salad, and mixed fruit. For the weekend, I've got my healthy tip. Try eating smaller, more frequently meals rather than 3 huge meals a day. Eating smaller portions more frequently will reduce cortisol levels and allow for easier weight loss. After the weekend, enjoy whatever you choose, as students have Monday off from school in honor of civil rights leader Martin Luther King, Jr. Did you know that January is National Soup Month? With the cold weather in abundance, January is the perfect month to celebrate and enjoy soups of all kinds. Now taking a look once again at your lunch entrees for the week, you've got some great selections. Chicken Parmesan on Tuesday, orange chicken on Wednesday, and a deluxe chicken sandwich on Friday. That does it for this week's lunch bill of fare. From the newsroom, this is Creed Rassin. Back to you.
Thanks, Creed. Don't forget, you can also catch the lunch bill of fare during the morning show here on the Learning Network and get lots of helpful nutrition information online at www.nhcs.net/nutrition.
Now don't go away. Coming up, the County Principal of the Year has just won a major award. We'll have details.
This is Your School News on cable and online. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Kids will spend 8 minutes decorating their little brother.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes twice a day. They have the time.
Welcome back to your school news. Robin Hamilton, the principal at Parsley Elementary, was named New Hanover County School Principal of the Year back in June. Now it looks like Mrs. Hamilton is moving on to the next level as a major announcement was made last week in a special ceremony at the school. We have all the details in this report.
Dr. Robin Hamilton of Parsley Elementary School has been named 2015 Southeast Regional Principal of the Year by the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction. The news was delivered to Dr. Hamilton at a surprise ceremony and reception last week at the school. In attendance were New Hanover County Board of Education members, NCDPI officials, New Hanover County Schools senior staff, Parsley Elementary School staff and students, and Dr. Hamilton's family. Dr. Sandra Sheridan, retired Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, was the keynote speaker for the event.
Well, I feel very thankful, very humbled, very, very surprised. But what a great honor, and I know there were so many wonderful candidates, and just to be recognized at this level is just such a great honor, and I'm just so thankful and so proud and just so pleased and so very surprised.
This past June, Dr. Hamilton was named New Hanover County's Principal of the Year and was then chosen out of other top principals from 13 counties in southeastern North Carolina to be named 2015 Regional Principal of the Year. She will now go on to compete against 7 other principals for the honor of State Principal of the Year in May of 2015. Reporting for Your School News, this is Heather Jensen.
Congratulations to Mrs. Hamilton from everyone here at NHCS TV.
That does it for this edition of Your School News, recapping some of our main stories. Board of Education held its first regular meeting of the new year. Watch it online at www.nhcs.net. New series on the U.S. Constitution is now on the Learning Network. And Wrightsboro Elementary held a cultural arts showcase.
Remember, Your School News is on cable and online. And don't forget to start your morning with our Light and Lively morning show, weekdays at 6 a.m.
I'm Victoria Chang.
And I'm Maggie Cottle. On behalf of the entire YSN crew, thanks for watching New Hanover County Schools TV on the Learning Network.
Have a great week.